Don't look now, but Shedeur Sanders has been impressing at Browns OTAs. We'll talk about that, plus a couple other NFL storylines here on Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. Hope everybody is having a fantastic weekend. I want to hear from you guys. Who do you expect to be the Browns Week 1 starting quarterback? If you're rolling with Joe Flacco, type JF. Kenny Pickett, type KP. Dylan Gabriel, type DG. Or Shedeur Sanders, type SS. Let's talk about the latter, the fifth-round pick out of Colorado. Obviously a whirlwind of a draft weekend, but as Tom Brady told him, once your pick, doesn't matter. It's time to go in there, get to work, and earn your stripes. And early on, it sounds like he's doing that. Multiple reports out of Cleveland. We heard this in rookie minicamp. He looks better than Dylan Gabriel in OTAs. The opportunities he's getting, he looks pretty good as well. Nathan Zegura, who's the color commentator for the Browns radio broadcast team, had this to say on a show via Sirius radio. He said, Shedeur looks good. His ball placement is elite. His ability to layer throws is elite. I think he's got plenty of arm strength. We've seen that on display. There's something about Shedeur. He is very confident, but not in a cocky way. He has a lot of belief in himself. I like him a lot. And look, I don't have boots on the ground at Browns practice, but there's a lot of attention on that camp, and there's a lot of clips from reporters that's coming out. He looks better than Dylan Gabriel. And that shouldn't surprise anybody. Like, regardless of how good or how bad of a career Shedeur Sanders ends up having, and regardless of he flunked pre-draft meetings, this and that and the other, there is no world where Shedeur Sanders should have been drafted 2 rounds behind Dylan Gabriel, regardless of what team picked him. That just was insane from the get-go. So I'm not surprised when I see clips of 5'10" Dylan Gabriel having balls swatted like halfway up Mason Graham's arm and picked off, and seeing Shedeur's throw better passes, more accurate passes. He's just a better player than Dylan Gabriel. Now, who knows what will happen in their careers? Maybe Gabriel will have a better one, but there is nothing from their games in college that would say that Gabriel should have been drafted ahead of Shedeur. Now, ESPN Cleveland has kind of been all over this. They've been compiling stats, which it's OTAs, so this data is all relative. But Shedeur's reps that he's getting, and he's the 4th QB in line, so he's not getting as many as the others. 7-9, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Best across the board. Now, look, I saw Cowherd did a full segment on this, and he's like, I've seen enough. He's going to be the guy. And I was like, these stats, and I'll put in air quotes again, probably lack major context. Like, who's on the field? Is he playing against backup defenders? Pads aren't on. It's OTAs. Like, certain quarterbacks try different things this time of year. Like, it's not – I'm not going to overvalue it, but it's not a nothing burger either, and especially in a QB competition that doesn't exactly have a proven star figure. I mean, Joe Flacco's proven in the sense of he's had a good career, but he's 40 years old. Forget being on the back 9. He's on 18. I mean, he is just dragging this thing out at this point in his career. Kenny Pickett, who's getting the first reps, it's like, come on, that's kind of a joke to me. And I said that on a video about a week ago. It's like, why are we wasting our time with Kenny Pickett if you're the Cleveland Browns? And we already covered it with Dylan Gabriel. Like, I just don't think he's as good of a quarterback and as good of a prospect as Shedeur Sanders. So, look, here's the bottom line. If I'm a Browns fan and as a content creator, like, I am most intrigued and most eager to watch Shedeur Sanders. I'm not a Browns fan, but as someone who covers the entire National Football League and is interested in storylines and how things are going to go, like, if I was a Browns fan, I would want Shedeur to start. That is what I would want. Now, if he's not ready to start, you could start Flacco, you could start Pickett until he is, whatever the case may be, but I'm not that intrigued with Dylan Gabriel. I'm not intrigued with Kenny Pickett. I'm fine with Joe Flacco because he can at least be serviceable, but if Shedeur Sanders has a good rest of the summer and has a good training camp period in July and in August, why not just start him? Who cares that you drafted him after Dylan Gabriel? If he's the better player, put him on the field because he is the one guy on that team that at least has a chance, in my opinion, of being a good starter in the NFL. Gabriel, I think his ceiling is a good backup. Kenny Pickett, to me, is a backup. Joe Flacco is like an okay stopgap starter who is really just hanging on to a career at this point. Like, If any of these guys has a chance to be the guy for multiple years to come, it's Shedeur Sanders. And again, and I've said this about Will Howard with the Steelers, why not just play Shedeur this year, see how it goes? There's talent on the team, and if he doesn't play well, you're probably going to be picking in the top 5. And by the way, you have the Jacksonville first-round pick too. You can get your quarterback next year if he's not good enough. So that's kind of where I'm at with things. So far, so good. Sounds like he's had the right attitude about going in the 5th round and, going to Cleveland. That hasn't exactly been a place that's produced a lot of quarterback success. So good for him, man. It sounds like he's answering the bell after not having an ideal draft weekend. Okay, subscribe to the channel because we react and discuss all major storylines around the National Football League, some college football as well, although this time of year it's more NFL because the college football offseason is pretty quiet, but any major stories jump there, we will jump in on them. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications. That way you never miss an episode here on For Verts. Okay, a couple other stories. Bryce Huff is heading to San Francisco in a trade that is being finalized. This was reported on Friday. Philadelphia expected to net a day 3 pick, and one of the few things that didn't go right last year for the Eagles was paying Bryce Huff and not getting much out of him. He just did not perform last year. Vic Fangio didn't seem to like him for whatever reason. But the year before, with the Jets, under Robert Saleh, now the 49ers defensive coordinator, great year. Graded out well for PFF. A lot of pressures, a lot of QB hits, 10 sacks. Natural fit. The 49ers need another pass rusher. So now they got Nick Bosa, Bryce Huff. They drafted Michael Williams. They drafted a couple of defensive tackles in Alfred Collins and C.J. West. That Niners defensive line feels more formidable, and I would expect Huff to play better in a scheme that he's familiar with under Robert Saleh. So I think this makes sense for both parties. The Eagles get out of a contract that just did not work out. I mean, he was a healthy scratch for the Super Bowl. It was reported recently he was not in their plans for 2025, so they find a trade partner and just kind of cut their losses. So win-win for both sides. You're not going to win them all if you're Howie Roseman, but I think he can sleep okay at night considering the moves that he has made that have worked because there's been plenty of those. All right, before we get out of here, I was about to film and I saw this circulating. I was like, okay, I'll throw this into the show. New Aaron Rodgers note. Gotta love these updates. Tom Pelissero on Rich Eisen's show says that Rodgers, quote, has not affirmatively told the Steelers that he's coming, close quote. Here's where I'm at with the Rodgers thing. I am actively rooting for him to not sign with Pittsburgh and to just retire or just not do anything. Just be like, yeah, I'm just hanging out. I said this the other day, and, a couple Steelers fans got mad at me, whatever. I don't get what Pittsburgh's doing. And look, maybe they do have a silent agreement with Rodgers, and I'm sure when they sign him, it'll get revealed, they knew they had him all along. Like, I don't know, did they? They met with him. Has Rodgers told him that? To me, we are so far into the offseason, you're kind of running out of these manufactured dates you can come up with. He'll sign before the draft or right after the draft because he wants to see if the Steelers draft a quarterback high. Then it's he's going to wait for the schedule to come out. And then it's he doesn't want to do OTAs. And then what's it going to be next? He wants to skip training camp. We'll show up week 1. At some point, it's sack up, Pittsburgh. Seriously. I get it. If he shows up, OTAs, does he need to be there? Probably not. But it's also dude, this is a diminished Aaron Rodgers. This is not a guy playing at a top 10 level. If he was still a top 10 guy, I would literally tell Aaron, you could call us up until a week before the season. We will wait that long. We'll have the other guys ready to go in case you can't play. This is at best the 16th, 17th best quarterback in the league. And that's fine. That's an upgrade over what they've had. But I don't know. There's sometimes you say things and you look back maybe I was too harsh there, but I don't think I am. I feel like I've lost a little respect for Pittsburgh, even if they do end up getting them. It's just really you put all your eggs into that basket and just waited and waited and waited and waited and we got 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Look at us. Okay, what's the best case scenario? I don't think it's that great of a scenario. So I'm I'm actively rooting against it at this point. I'm tired of the story. I'm tired of all the leaks of, yeah, he's got this going on, or, oh, he hasn't told Pittsburgh that, or it's like, come on, man, just freaking make a decision so we can move on from this story. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of 4 Verts. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. My name is Harrison Graham. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you soon.